Hi guys! In this video I'm going to explain you how to start using AutoCAD in 3D. For that, I will show you a technique to make the modeling of this floor plan. So, first of all, I'm going to click in this gear wheel to change the workspace to the 3D modeling. I click here, and as you see now, my ribbon have changed. So you can see here different toolbars and also new icons that don't appear in the 2D workspace. Now I am going to start drawing, but you may understand that for 3D drawing you can change the UCS over there, or you can simply click and hold your mouse wheel, then move around and set the plan in the position that you want. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is extruding the exterior wall and the internal walls. For that, I will click on the layer properties, and then I create two new layers for extruding the walls: 3D exterior wall and 3D internal wall. Okay, I will double click in the layer 3D Ext wall to activate it. And then I will use the command polyline to draw the outline of the exterior wall overlapped with the existing one. And the reason that I'm doing this is for putting my 3D elements in these two new layers I just created. But don't worry, you will understand it later in this video. So I'm finishing my polyline, and now I can press escape. Then, for the internal line, I can simply use the command offset, which is located here when you work in 3D modeling. So, the offset distance will be the thickness of my wall, which is 300. Now I click on the line, and I click again inside the polyline. Okay, now I am going to switch to the layer 3D int wall, and this time I will redraw the internal walls. I will make two polylines. The first one will cover almost all the area, and the second these remaining lines. So I activate again polyline, press enter. I choose a start point, and I'm going to follow the outline of all the internal walls. In the places where I have doors, just imagine that the lines continue there, for example here. When I reach an exterior wall, I continue here in the other side of the wall. Start. Okay, so keep doing this until we reach the start point, which is this one, and now I can press escape. After doing this, I realize that this part is missing, so I have to draw it. I press enter to reactivate the previous command, which is polyline, and I draw by clicking in these endpoints. Okay, on the next section, I'm going to extrude my walls. So the first thing I have to do is freezing all the layers that I don't need. Keep just the layers of the 3D walls. Now I'm going to click in the command PRESSPULL or type press. With this command I can extrude areas, so I will select the intersection of the internal walls. I click, then I drag it up, and now I have to insert the height, which is in the Z axis. I will type 2600, which is my wall height. Press enter, and now we have to extrude the exterior wall. I remind you that holding the mouse wheel, I can change the position as it feels comfortable for my next step. So, now I will select the area of the exterior wall, drag it up, and now I can insert again 2600. So as you see, I have drawn my walls in 3D. Okay, so the next section of this tutorial, I will make holes in the walls to then insert the windows and the doors. Here you can see what will be my final result. So I will start making the outline of the windows. For the first one, I'm going to choose this one, and the method I'm going to show you is to draw the line that indicates the distance from the floor that the window will be placed. I type 900 and push enter. Next, I will draw the window using the command rectangle, and now I will focus on important detail. When you want to draw in a specific plane, that plane has to be highlighted in the precise moment when I click. I zoom a bit. Now that the endpoint appeared, I click. I told you this process slowly because sometimes it's not easy to do it well. Now I will insert the dimensions. The first is the x-axis, which is 1500. Then press tab. And the y-axis, it's the height of the window, which is 1200. So now I can do the same for the remaining windows. But wait, the next one, which has the same dimensions, I can simply copy the first window, select it, as well as the reference line. Now I choose this base point, and I place it here. And I can type escape to leave the command. Now I am going to show you for the window located in this side. First I have to draw the reference line. I click in this endpoint. And yes, it's also very important to have the polar mode active for drawing precisely in the correct axis, which for this case it is the axis Z. And then for the window I do the same process as before. Activate rectangle. Now I'm going to select the base point carefully. Now here it is, the endpoint, but you can't see the plane highlighted now. So I click and I'm not drawing the rectangle in the wall. If I move, I can see that it's parallel with the floor plan, which doesn't work for me. So I'm going to try again. Now that the lines are highlighted, I can now click. So just do the same process as I did before. I insert first the horizontal length and then the vertical. Another thing that I can do for saving time is regarding the reference lines. For example, I will draw it for this window. It has dimension 900, and then I'm going to copy it and place it in all the windows that have the same height from the floor. Now I want to focus on another issue that sometimes happens. It's regarding the Ucs coordinates. As when I'm drawing in 3D I'm changing the viewing plane so often, sometimes the Ucs coordinates change the direction automatically. So you just need to pay attention to the current position of the axis. This means that for this window the x-axis is now the vertical dimension, and I'm going to type now that distance, which is 1200. Then I press tab, and then I have to insert the distance in the y-axis. If you look to the drawing, you will see the y-axis is in opposite direction against the horizontal length of the window. Thus, I have to type minus 1000. Finally, remains me this window here, which is smaller than the others. and this time it's placed at a distance of 1600 from the floor. I'm going to type line. I click in this base point, and now I will put for this distance its measurement, which is 1600. Now for the window, I'm going to use rectangle again. I click on this base point, and I will insert for the coordinates. Now look to the axis because they are not again in the default position. So first I have to insert the vertical dimension, which is the direction of the x-axis, and for the y-axis the horizontal length with a minus before. Okay, for the remaining windows I already have the reference line that I copied before, and just do the same process using the command rectangle. For example, for this one, I have to type again the coordinates, and this time my UCS axes are in the default position, so just do it normally. First, I type 1500 for the x-axis, and the second 1200 for the y-axis. Okay, so after finishing the windows, we will do the same process for the doors. I am going to turn the drawing to find it, and here is one of them. So I will use again the command rectangle, and this time I will draw it right from this endpoint, because the bottom of the door is on the ground. For the horizontal dimension, I can hover the endpoint over the other extremity of the door, drag it slowly up, and now that appears this green dashed line, I can enter just the height of the door, because the horizontal distance was locked there. Now there is another door in the other side of the house, and I just need to do the same process. Okay, so it's everything in this video, and I will continue modeling this floor plan in the next part. Also, don't forget to subscribe my channel to watch the complete list of tutorials of AutoCAD. Thank you very much and hope to see you next time.